On April 13th, tensions between Iran and Israel reached a new peak when Iran carried out a direct attack on Israel. This marked the first clear act of aggression from Iran since the ongoing secretive conflicts that began with Iran's Islamic Revolution in 1979. The attack was in retaliation for an airstrike on April 1st that killed 2 Iranian generals in Damascus. In this massive attack, Iran used a large variety of weapons: 130 ballistic missiles, 30 cruise missiles, and 170 kamikaze drones, adding up to about 330 weapons in total. This collection of weapons is known in military terms as a strike package, which means it's a group of different weapons combined to perform a coordinated attack on a specific target. Iran chose these weapons carefully to meet a specific goal. Despite the severity of the strike, Israel's defense systems proved exceptionally effective, intercepting over 99% of the incoming weapons. Reports indicate that although 9 missiles managed to penetrate these defenses, they caused only minor damage. This underscores the robust performance of Israel's defenses against the attack. Over many years, Israel has put together a highly effective, layered air defense system with significant help from the United States. This sophisticated system is designed to handle a variety of threats, including long-range missiles, cruise missiles, drones, and short-range rockets. You can discover more about Israel's air defense system by clicking on the video linked in the description below. This advanced network of air defenses, combined with strong partnerships with the US and other nations, was key in reducing the damage from Iran's recent attack. This was especially important, as Israel was dealing with ongoing military actions in Gaza and intermittent fighting along its northern border with Lebanon's Hezbollah militia. This robust defense system helps Israel manage and minimize the effects of such conflicts. Just a quick moment before we unveil the rest. If you're not already part of our incredible community, consider subscribing to this channel. Stay up to date and never miss out on the latest insights. And now, let's go on. Following the recent confrontation, we have gained clearer insights into the impact of Iran's missile strikes on Israel. US authorities have verified that 9 of Iran's missiles made it to Israeli soil, with Iran asserting these were their advanced hypersonic missiles. Of these, 5 missiles targeted and hit the Nevatim Air Force Base in southern Israel, which hosts Israel's elite F-35 fighter jets, clearly a primary target for Iran. A high-ranking US official reported that the impacts resulted in damage to a C-130 transport aircraft, an unused runway, and empty storage buildings. The other 4 missiles struck the Ramon Air Base. Despite these strikes, the damage reported at both locations was minimal. In today's digital age, the aftermath of such incidents can be rapidly assessed. With the aid of publicly available satellite imagery, the Associated Press was able to verify that the damage incurred in Israel was indeed minor. This evidence supports the claims by both the US and Israel regarding their highly effective missile interception capabilities. The pressing issue now revolves around understanding Iran's true military capabilities demonstrated in this attack and their intentions. How extensive were the offensive capabilities Iran deployed? What level of destruction did they really aim to achieve? The recent attack by Iran showcased Tehran's readiness to use its significant stockpile of ballistic missiles against Israel, amidst the ongoing regional tensions, particularly those arising from the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza. Iran allegedly informed the US that it intended to limit the scale of its operation. However, US officials argue that Iran's actual aim was to cause significant damage and casualties, a view supported by multiple observers. The assault appears to have been a strategic move by Iran, aimed at inflicting considerable damage but calibrated to avoid triggering a severe retaliation from Israel. The tactics employed in this assault mirror those seen in other conflicts, such as the strategies used by Russian forces in Ukraine, designed to overload and outmaneuver air defense systems. Iran's use of the EMAD ballistic missiles, which travel at supersonic speeds of 3,800 miles per hour along a high, arcing path that makes them hard to intercept, paired with cruise missiles flying at a lower, direct speed of 750 miles per hour, indicates a clear intent to inflict substantial damage. Additionally, Iran strategically used slow-moving drones intended as distractions to aid the more lethal missile strikes. By timing the arrival of drones and missiles together, Iran planned to sow confusion and overwhelm Israel's air defenses, underscoring their methodical approach to causing significant destruction. The Institute for the Study of War notes that during significant attacks, Ukrainian air defenses have only intercepted about 16% of Russian ballistic missiles. Iran likely expected that Israel's interception rates would be better than Ukraine's, yet not exceed 90% against a similar large-scale missile attack, especially considering that Russia has never launched such a high number of missiles at once against Ukraine. Therefore, Iran may have anticipated that their combination of drones and cruise missiles would complicate Israeli efforts to intercept the incoming ballistic missiles. However, it appears that these tactics were not as disruptive as expected. It seems that the interception rates achieved by the US, Israel, and their allies, which were between 95 and 99%, were unexpectedly high. It's important to note that while the initial figures appear accurate, they do not fully represent the complexity of the situation. Focusing on the key element, the ballistic missiles, we find that 93% of these were successfully intercepted. However, these figures are still subject to change as new information becomes available, potentially altering our current understanding. A report by the Wall Street Journal reveals that approximately half of the ballistic missiles Iran launched did not reach their intended destinations. Of the 65 missiles that did make it to Israel, only 9 managed to breach the defense systems. This results in an actual interception rate of about 86%, a percentage that still exceeds what many defense experts had anticipated. How are we aware of the failures of certain Iranian missile launches? The answer lies with US military surveillance satellites, which played a crucial role by detecting infrared signatures from missile launches that ended earlier than expected. It was noted that several of these missiles did not complete their intended journey, instead falling in Iraq and Jordan. Images capturing these failed launches have been widely shared across the internet, offering clear visual proof of the issues in the trajectory of Iran's missiles. While Israel and its allies successfully defended against this attack, it's crucial they do not let their guard down. It's important to remember that Iran possesses the largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East. They have over 10 different types of ballistic missiles, either already in service or under development, and potentially hundreds of these missiles in stock. One might wonder why Iran didn't launch more missiles during this strike. A possible explanation is the limitation not on the number of missiles, but on the available launchers. Estimates suggest that Iran has between 100 and 200 missile launchers, which restricts the number of missiles they can launch at once. This logistical detail could explain why the attack was not larger in scale. Additionally, while the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps hasn't officially confirmed which missiles were used in the recent strike on Israel, some reports suggest that Iran might have deployed the advanced hypersonic Fatah missile, purported to bypass Israeli defenses effectively. However, it appears that mostly older missile models were used in the attack, with cutting-edge projectiles like the Fatah possibly being reserved for a direct retaliation to an Israeli offensive. This implies that Iran might still be holding back some of its more sophisticated weaponry. According to the Institute for the Study of War, Iran will learn additional lessons from the failed April 13th attack that it can leverage to launch more successful attacks in the future. The lessons that Iran will draw from this attack will allow it to build more successful strike packages in the future. The attack probably helped Iran identify the relative strengths and the weaknesses of the Israeli air defense system. This underscores a critical point. Even though Iran's initial attack did not fully achieve its objectives, we should not underestimate Iran's capacity for conducting more effective strikes in the future. Another aspect to consider is that the defense against this missile attack was a collaborative effort involving Jordan, Israel, the United Kingdom, and the United States. There's no certainty that these nations would collaborate again to defend Israel under different circumstances in the future. What is clear from this incident is that Iran's missile capabilities are extensive enough to reach Israeli territory. This demonstrates the need for the US and its allies to remain alert, and reinforces the idea that underestimating potential adversaries could lead to dangerous complacency.